Look at you, always there, always answering. You think your reliability is your strength. It's your cage. Every time you show up uninvited, your value drops. You aren't a person to them, you're a utility. And utilities are taken for granted until they break. You are losing the game because you are too easy to find. Pay attention. This is the only warning you'll get. Let's look at the strings.
In the economy of human interaction, the most abundant resource is always the cheapest. Think of the air you breathe. It is vital for life, yet you never think of it, never value it, and certainly never pay for it. Why? Because it is everywhere. It is constant. It is reliable. In your desperate pursuit of being liked, you have become air. You answer every text within seconds. You accept every low-level invitation. You are the first to arrive at the office and the last to leave the party. You believe this builds rapport. You believe this makes you indispensable. You are wrong. It makes you a commodity. In a strict social hierarchy, a commodity is a tool, and a tool is never the one holding the handle. Analyze your current social circle. Who is the person everyone waits for? Who is the one whose arrival shifts the temperature of the room? It isn't the person who was already there, leaning against the wall, waiting for the real guests to arrive. It is the person who was missing. When you are always present, your optics become static. People stop seeing you and start seeing through you. You become part of the furniture, functional perhaps, but entirely predictable. And predictability is the death of power. Power thrives on the unknown. It thrives on the shadow. The architect knows that familiarity breeds a specific kind of contempt, a quiet, subtle loss of respect. By being constantly available, you're signaling to the world that your time has no value. And if your time has no value, neither do you. Stop being the safety net. Start being the prize. The moment you become difficult to reach is the moment they begin to wonder where you are. And the moment they wonder where you are is the moment you have captured their most valuable asset, their attention.
In physics, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. In the psychology of power, every appearance has a cost. It's called the law of diminishing returns. The first time a rare bird lands on a windowsill, the world stops to watch. By the 100th time, it's just a pest. You think that by staying in their line of sight, you are staying in their minds. You aren't. You are becoming background noise. Look at the most powerful figures in history, or the most successful brands on the planet. They don't scream for your attention every hour of every day. They release, they impact, and then they retreat. They understand that dominance is not about volume. It is about the ratio of impact to exposure. When you oversaturate a space with your presence, you trigger a biological response: habituation. The human brain is designed to filter out the constant. It tunes out the hum of the air conditioner. It tunes out the repetitive drone of the reliable colleague. It tunes out you. You are helping them forget you by being so visible. Every word you speak that doesn't carry weight, every meeting you attend where you have nothing to gain, and every social event you grace with your consistent presence is a withdrawal from your bank of influence. You are spending your leverage for the sake of being included. The architect does not seek inclusion. The architect creates the void that others are desperate to fill. Analyze your recent interactions. Did you stay 10 minutes too long? Did you send that follow-up email before they even had time to miss your input? If you did, you signaled desperation. Desperation is the scent of the prey. It tells the hierarchy that you need the group more than the group needs you. Most people are terrified of leaving. They cling to the conversation, the meeting, or the relationship until the marrow has been sucked dry and only the brittle bone remains. They stay until the energy dips, until the silences become awkward, and until their presence becomes a chore for others to manage. They want to be the last one standing because they mistake endurance for importance. The architect knows better. You do not wait for the fire to go out. You leave while the flames are at their peak. This is the tactic of the peak exit. Human memory is flawed. It does not record every second of an interaction. It remembers the highest point of emotional intensity, and it remembers the end. If you were there for the decline, if you were the one still talking when people are looking at their watches, you have successfully linked your identity to the feeling of boredom. You have overwritten your brilliance with the optics of a lingerer. You must vanish while they are still laughing at your joke. You must end the meeting the moment your most powerful point has landed. When you leave a room while the energy is high, you leave a vacuum. The collective consciousness of the group is still tuned to your frequency, but the signal has suddenly cut to black. This creates a psychological itch that they cannot scratch. Think of the hierarchy in any room. The person with the least power is the one who is most desperate to stay. They are the ones hovering by the exit, hoping for one last scrap of validation. The person with the most power is the one whose time is so leveraged, so pressurized by higher status demands that they cannot afford to linger. By mastering the peak exit, you are simulating that pressure. You are signaling that your world is larger than this room. You are showing them that while you value the interaction, you do not need it.
Nature abhors a vacuum. Social dynamics are no different. When you are present, you occupy a specific space in the mental map of those around you. You are a known quantity. But the moment you vanish, truly vanish, you create a hole in the fabric of their reality. This is not just absence, it is a psychological gravitational pull. While you are gone, their minds do not rest. In the silence where your voice used to be, their internal monologue begins to fracture. They start to ask the questions that build your dominance. Why isn't he here? What is he doing that is more important than this? Who is he with? They begin to construct a version of you that is far more powerful, far more elusive, and far more valuable than the version that was sitting right in front of them. You are no longer a person. You have become a mystery, and the human brain is hardwired to solve mysteries. By creating this vacuum, you trigger the Zeigarnik effect, the psychological phenomenon where people remember uncompleted tasks or interrupted sequences better than completed ones. By leaving, you have interrupted the sequence of their social expectation. You are an unfinished sentence. You are a cliffhanger in a world of boring, predictable conclusions. They cannot close the file on you. This is where the shift in leverage occurs. When you were present and available, they held the power of attention. They could choose to look at you or look away. But in your absence, they lose that choice. They are forced to look for you in their own thoughts. You have moved from being an external stimulus to an internal obsession. You are now colonizing their headspace, rent-free, without saying a single word.
We exist in an era of digital tethering. Your smartphone is a leash, and every notification is a tug from a world that demands your attention. Every online status, every typing bubble, and every instant reply is a data point in the graph of your availability. If the light is always green, you are always on sale. You have no mystery because you have no digital privacy. You are a public utility, available at the click of a button. You are playing a game of visibility when you should be playing a game of optics. The architect understands that digital optics are the new frontier of social strategy. To be powerful in the modern hierarchy, you must become a ghost in the machine. Stop being the first to view a story. Stop being the one who likes every post within minutes of its upload. This does not show support. It shows you have nothing better to occupy your thoughts. It shows your attention is the cheapest commodity on the market. When your digital footprint is everywhere, you are nowhere. You have diluted your essence into a stream of mindless data. When you stop reacting, they start noticing. Consider the message notification. The commoner sees it and feels an immediate Pavlovian urge to respond. They fear that a delay will be perceived as a slight. They are trapped in a cycle of reactive behavior. You must break this cycle. The delay is your most potent digital weapon. By making them wait, you are forcing them to value the eventual response. You are setting the pace of the interaction. You are the conductor, and they are merely waiting for the next note to drop. Turn off your read receipts. Let your last seen status become a relic of the past. In the digital void you create, their insecurities will flourish. They will wonder if you found a better circle, a bigger deal, or a more interesting life. Do not correct them. Let the silence do the work. In a world of constant, desperate noise, the loudest thing you can be is silent. You are not missing. You are simply elsewhere. The human brain is not a machine designed for logic. It is a biological survival engine, and its most primitive setting is fear. Specifically, the fear of loss. In psychology, we call this loss aversion. It is the hardwired truth that the pain of losing something is twice as powerful as the joy of gaining it. When you are always there, a reliable, constant fixture, they feel no fear. They believe they own your time. They believe your loyalty is a permanent asset on their balance sheet. They have no reason to protect their relationship with you because they don't believe it can be lost. You are going to change that. You are going to introduce the cold chill of the unknown. When you practice selective absence, you aren't just taking a break. You are triggering a survival response in the people around you. You are forcing them to confront a reality where you are no longer the one solving their problems, providing the insights, or anchoring the social circle. The moment you become unreachable is the moment they realize how much they've been offloading onto your shoulders. Fear is the ultimate teacher, and you are about to give them a masterclass. This is where loss aversion turns into panic. They don't just miss you, they fear they are being replaced in your life. They fear that the value you provided is now being gifted to their competition. This realization creates a desperate urge to reacquire you. They will begin to offer concessions they never would have considered when you were standing right in front of them. They will check in just to see how you are. They will move mountains to ensure your return because the thought of you being someone else's asset is unbearable. You must be comfortable with their discomfort. Do not rush back to soothe their nerves. If you return the moment they show a sign of distress, you've shown your hand. No, you must stay gone long enough for the fear to set in, long enough for them to truly contemplate a future without your leverage. You are not a child playing hide and seek. You are a sovereign power withdrawing an ambassador.
Silence is only powerful if it eventually breaks, but your return cannot be a whimper. It must be a revelation. Most people, after a period of absence, come back with excuses. They apologize for being busy, or they overcompensate for their time away by being overly friendly. They try to catch up on everything they missed, instantly demoting themselves back to the position of a desperate follower. The architect knows they are being weak. Your return is not a return to the old order. It is the establishment of a new one. When you step back into the light, you do not carry the dust of your journey. You do not explain where you've been, who you were with, or what you were doing. Your return must signal that while you were gone, you evolved. You didn't just step away, you stepped up. You must carry the aura of someone who has accessed a higher level of the hierarchy. This is how you maintain the optics of your dominance. Let them look for the changes in you. Let them wonder what secrets you've brought back in the silence. Watch the shift in the room as you enter. Observe how people who previously ignored you now lean in. Your absence has cleared the air of suffocating familiarity, and your return has filled it with a sharp, electric intrigue. You are no longer one of them. You are a phenomenon. Use this window of heightened attention, this peak of curiosity, to plant your most important ideas. This is the moment when your words have the highest density of impact. Because you have been gone, every word you now speak is treated as a rare resource. Do not fall back into the trap of being the reliable utility. The return is merely a demonstration of your power to leave and return at will. It is a reminder to the group that you are the one who controls the dial of your own presence. You are training them to understand that your time is a gift, not a right. If they want more of it, the price has just gone up.
Now that you have returned, you must protect the scarcity you've engineered. The architect achieves dominance through subtext. You don't tell people your time is valuable, you force them to experience its cost. You are going to train them, not with words, but with the cold mechanics of your behavior. Look at the hierarchy of any high-stakes environment. The individuals at the bottom are the most reactive. The individuals at the top are the bottleneck. Nothing moves without their permission. To maintain your leverage, you must become a bottleneck. When someone asks for a moment of your time, do not give it freely. Pause. Let the silence stretch just long enough for them to feel the weight of their request. The pause is where the power lives. Use high-status vocabulary to frame your unavailability. You aren't busy, you are prioritizing a high-leverage initiative. You aren't out of the office, you are off-grid for deep work execution. These are not just words, they are optics. They tell a story of a person whose mental resources are in such high demand that every second spent elsewhere is a significant investment. When you do grant access, keep it brief and high impact. The moment the value has been delivered, you must be the one to end the interaction. "I have a hard stop in 2 minutes" is a sentence of dominance. It tells the other person that their time is subordinate to yours. It creates a sense of urgency in them. They will stop rambling. They will get to the point. They will treat your presence as a fleeting window of opportunity. This is how you create a scarcity loop. The less you are available, the more they prepare for your presence. The more they prepare, the higher the quality of the interaction. The higher the quality, the more they value you. It is a self-reinforcing cycle of status. You aren't being difficult, you are being essential. Every no you utter is a brick in the fortress of your reputation. The blueprint is complete.
You have the tools to dismantle the illusion of constant availability and rebuild yourself as a figure of unattainable value. But knowledge without execution is merely a hallucination of power. Most will listen to these words, feel a momentary surge of ambition, and then return to their old habits the second their phone vibrates. They will choose the comfort of the crowd over the cold brilliance of the peak. They are the background characters in a story written by someone else. You are no longer one of them. You have seen the strings. You understand that every time you choose to be absent, you are performing an act of self-governance. You are declaring that your world does not stop spinning just because someone else wants a piece of it. You are shifting from being a filler in other people's lives to being the main event. You are the master of the void. Stop seeking approval, start seeking leverage. The world will try to pull you back. They will call you distant. They will say you've changed. This is the ultimate test of your dominance. The architect does not flinch at the labels of the commoner. You must realize that their frustration is the highest form of flattery. It is the sound of them realizing they can no longer control you. It is the proof that your strategy is working. From this moment forward, your presence is a tactical deployment. You are the shadow that everyone watches, the silence that everyone listens to, and the ghost that everyone fears they are losing. The game of power is played in the spaces between people. By controlling your absence, you control those spaces. You are no longer a piece being moved across the board. You are the hand. You are the architect of your own scarcity. The doors are closing. The lights are dimming. The vacuum is yours to command. Go, disappear, and let them learn what it feels like to truly crave you.